Hello everyone, my name is Michael Young and welcome back to Factorio. So, I have a confession. It has actually been, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 hours since I actually recorded anything in this game of gameplay. We had looked last time at the math of what this initial set of 5 modules producing mineral sludge would do, and I was a little unhappy with it. So I doubled it up. I made another 5. So now we've got a solid bank of 10 groups of these modules. And I was thinking a while about trying to pair them up with what's actually going to be consuming all of them and try to get the ratio all perfect. But I think instead we'll just kind of let it all load balance itself based on consumption. Anyway, while I was building all this, it took a long time to just manually craft things by hand. I was getting a little annoyed. So I set up a little mall area. It's a bad one. It's not very good. Look at this line in particular I'm really not happy with. But it just makes a few of the common items for me. And because all this was taking up a lot of power, I extended the solar array down. And it's still having some trouble filling up the solar array now. But I felt like it's probably time to continue to progress. We've got the oil stuff going up here. I need to start working out how my smelter area is going to look. And I kind of want to do the same sort of thing. I want to have like a long kind of row that's going to be devoted to making one type of ore. Or, well, to deal with one type of... well, I don't know. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that. We're definitely going to have rows of something, but we might do it one per incoming material. So like one per stereotype rather than one per copper. Let me just go ahead and get this out of the way, because it looks ugly. Come on. Okay. I don't know why it sometimes plays down 2 different ground types when I do this. The sand. Like now I can overwrite the sand with different sand. It doesn't cost any landfill to do it. It just looks different on the ground. But you can see that all over. There's the light colored sand and the dark colored sand all over the place. Don't know why. Anyway, so I want to make a little pattern that I can duplicate all over the place. And I think... let me see, we worked this out once. We're going to make one for... where is it? One for stereotype, one for bobmonium, and one for rubite chunks. And kind of, I think the pivot that I'm going to base like the ratio off of is going to be the ore sorting facility. We're going to have as many, what am I saying? We're going to have as many crystallizers as needed to keep one ore sorting facility busy the entire time. And we're going to have as much metal smelting to keep to use everything that an ore sorting facility Mark II can make all the time. So let's just take a look at that. We said we're going to do crushed stereotype to get the steel, the iron, and the copper. Sure. We're not going to lay it out like this. We're just going to look at the different pieces. We're going to have to deal with the slag. I hadn't thought about that. I guess we'll turn it into more landfill. Oh, actually no. For this slag, let's turn it into rocks, into stones. Yeah, I can see that as being a good way of approaching this. All right, let's start mapping this out. So, I don't care about how much my supply is. All I care about is what this recipe will do. So this recipe takes 4 crushed stereotypes. stearite and turns it into some slag that I don't care about. 2 copper ore and 1 iron ore. Alright. Then, and this all happened in 1 second, the machine is of speed 1, so it all stays the same. We'll make sure that is explicit. Alright. So, on the incoming side, let's see, incoming, we need to produce 4 crushed stearite per second. So we get the crushed stearite. Not by hand, we do it in a ore crusher. And we'll use ore crusher 2s because they're like kind of what we can achieve. Wait a second. We could make the 3s. We have access to all that. Let's see if it matters. So speed 2 or speed 3? I guess the idea would be that you could put speed 3 and eventually... do I have any of those by chance on me? I do. And they can be moduled. So like the idea is you could start out with... You could set them up so they're good with 2s, and then upgrade them to 3s and insert modules. I guess. It would ruin everything else though, because we're not making a scalable design. But that's okay. So this is 2 stearite ore. Becomes 2 crushed stearite. In 1 second, except for the recipe all is speed 2, or well, the machine is speed 2. And we'll try again with the speed 3 once, but we'll just take a look to see if it matters. It does not. It actually works out really well to not do it that way. Oh wait. So one of these will produce 4 crushed stearite per second, which is what the incoming is. Really? I guess so. Okay, so I'm kind of getting a feel for this. So this is gonna make slag. Let me see how this kind of layout is gonna be. I'm thinking maybe doing it like this. Maybe spread out by 1. And we put the rock out here, and we crush the stone into slag in the stone, and put that out here too. Do I want to do it? I don't know. And then the output's this way, but then we don't have a good way to get the stearite. No, the stearite would go in right there. Maybe not. Maybe something more where it's even, and they can both output onto here, onto this same path. And the stearite on one, again, we could have something coming in on one side. Then on the other side of this, we'll have the 2 outputs. I do like it. I like it. It kind of fits my whole long modules thing. Anyway, we'll see. Make sure that works out. Wait a minute. We would not. We'd have we'd have these, not those, not the crushers. Where are they? Or processors. Potentially multiple. So maybe that won't work. Maybe I need to look at it separately. Anyway, before we get to the output, let's look at the input one. So this needs 4 stereotype ore being produced all the time. So wait, we just said, so that'd be one crusher, 2. Okay, to get the ore, we use mineral sludge. So 25. I've done this so many times, I'm sure. $25 mineral sludge becomes 1 stereotyte ore in 4 seconds. It's the recipe time, that's the problem here. And these are speed 1.5. Okay, so each one produces 0.375. So we'll need... Why is it not being helpful? Stop, go away. We need this much divided by that much. We need 10. What are these called? Crystallizers. I'm trying to think whether I should just pull it up to 12 or should I drop down to 10. There'll be some undersupply. Probably I should pull it up to 12. Yeah, let's do 12. Alright, that's all the input. So the output... Okay. Doesn't matter that much, but you know. We said we're going to get 2 copper ore and 1 iron ore. What do we do with the copper first? 2 copper ore. So the plan is to process it as much as we can. Becomes 2, actually no, 4 copper ore. Becomes 2 processed copper. In 2 seconds. I think we only have access to the ones, right? Where are they? Yeah, you only have the ore processing machine ones. Need to get some more tech research going before we can do anything special here. So the crafting speed 1. So this will consume a single one of these will consume 2 copper a second, which is what we're making. It's convenient. So 1 ore processor copper. The same thing will apply to the iron, but we'll have less of it. So we don't need to, but we can't have less than 1 machine. So, not stereotype. I'm sorry, not sapphirite, stereotype. Okay, once we have the processed copper, which is just exactly 1. Yeah, right. Can't make the pellets yet. We don't have the tech for it. Game's being kind of quiet today. Maybe I'm wrong. 8 processed copper and 60 O2 becomes 24 copper ingots in 4 seconds. These are in blast furnaces. I know we have access to the Mark IIs, so we'll plan on using that. 1.5? Yeah, 1.5. Alright, so that can consume 3 copper per second. We don't have 3 copper per second, we have 1. So we're going to have a bit of waste. We're actually going to need only a third of this O2. So 7.5 O2 per second, and we'll only be producing 3 copper ingots per second. Because of our limited supply. I guess I could just try to... I've been avoiding trying to think in those terms of having multiple rows feeding into one set of output. That was kind of the whole point of why we have like redundant hydro plants. One hydro plant could supply everything. It just creates logistic problems of getting it everywhere it needs to be. So I think now we'll go ahead and we'll just underutilize our blast furnaces. In fact, can we just drop to a blast furnace 1? That would be a speed 1. Then it would only consume 2 copper instead of 3, but we're only producing 1, so that works fine. Yeah, 1 blast furnace 1. So we'll need the dividing by 3 doesn't work anymore. It would be divided by what is it dynamically? It would be 15 divided by half. 15 times that over that. So we're producing 3 copper per second. 3 ingots per second. And we need 7.5 O2 a second. So how are we going to get the O2? The O2 we can get from anything, really. We'll go with this same method. It's easy. Getting the compressed air. It's very small. It's a small amount. So we'll use an air filter 1. Let me make sure. Alright, so we said we were going to use 1 blast furnace 2. No, 1 blast furnace 1. Okay. Now air filter. So 1 air filter produces 200 compressed air over 6 seconds. Right? Yeah. 100. Okay, we don't care about the nitrogen, so really 1 air filter produces 100 oxygen over 6 seconds because this is shorter. So that would be 16 O2 per second, which is within what we need. We only need 7.5. Okay, so just one of those and one of the chem labs. As long as it's fast enough that it will be... as long as it's faster than the 6 seconds the air filter will need, that's not going to be a problem. Well, it has to be half the speed, because we're running it twice to get rid of all 200 compressed air. But that's fine. It's such a fast recipe that I'm not concerned. So 1 air filter 1. I said 1. And it will need 1 regular chem plant to make O2. Alright, so now we have the ingots. The ingots we were going to put straight into... Well, wait a minute. Should we do anything special? Like, make No, it would be straight into molten copper no matter what. Interesting, we could make copper powder. What's that for? It's for nothing. There's nothing that uses it, apparently. Oh well. Nope, okay, we'll just make molten copper. That's 1 per 1, or 10 per 1. So, 12 ingots make 120 molten in 4 seconds. And we have access to the 2s, but we might not need them. We're not producing that many. Let's just see. We're producing 3 copper ingots a second. So if we were to use a induction furnace 1, I think that'll work out fine. That will use 3 per second, yeah. Okay, so 1 induction 1. And the molten copper, here's what I was thinking. Are we going to only need copper wire? Or are we going to need the plates also? Let me look at this. So we're talking about making these just blue science. It does need copper plates. Okay. And I don't believe there's any virtue in going straight to the wire. Let me just make sure. Where is it? Now it's called cable, isn't it? Okay, let's just work it out. So, we're kind of in the same boat for the tin, but that's okay. So 80 copper could turn into, well, we just worked it out. 80 copper could turn into, no, we didn't work it out yet. $80 copper can turn into 4 copper wire coils, which will turn into 16 copper cables. So that's 2 cables per 10 copper. Or we could turn it into sheets, which will give me, just directly, one plate for 10 copper, which can turn into 2 cables. Okay, so it's no benefit, really. Not yet. Not until we start being able to do more impressive things, like using the, what was it doing? Using the coolant, which we don't have the smelting technology for. That would be a benefit. But whatevs. Not my problem yet. We're just gonna make a bunch of copper plates. Yeah, there's no benefit going to this route yet, right? It would just be more compressed, so like our bots wouldn't care as much. We're not using bots at the moment. Yeah. Okay. I guess we'll work a little faster too. So 40 molten becomes 4 plates. In 4 seconds. And we only have access to the 1s, right? No, we're using the 2s now. We have the 2s. Let's see if it's at all justified to use them. So we can consume 15 molten. So yes, that works out very nicely. That will just use 2 of them to eat up all the molten produced by that. So 2 casting. This seems small. This seems like we're not producing very many plates for the input. This is consuming what? uh, 90 mineral sludge to end up with 3 plates per second. I don't know. That's fine, maybe. Okay, that's a pretty simple layout, I'm thinking. So the other output is the iron, of course. And I think iron has a little trick to it. It needs the... It needs charcoal at that stage instead of iron. So we will need to make charcoal. We should set that up too at some point. Anyway, let's just lay this out. We'll move over a little bit, give me some space. I can reset the entire thing somewhere else in a moment. So, right there. Do we have any air filters? We probably don't. We can make one now. So, we need more... No, we don't. We have good crushers, but we need more anyway, eventually. So we were going to have one making stone, and one doing the crushed steatite. How fast is this working? We were saying that was going to be producing at speed 2. That's fine. A single inserter will handle that, I believe. That might need more though. The input. Yeah, 4 crushed steatite per second. So we'll need 2. Alright. How do I want to do this? I'm trying to figure out how to get the stone out. We got the stone right there too. No, I think we'll do what I was suggesting the first time. We'll send the stone out the top. We'll gather it all up and turn it into rocks and things. Alright. Do I want to flip these? Nah, top's fine. So we need, we're gonna make 12 of these, we said. So we'll make banks of 4? Like that, kinda. Annoying to have to load 3 onto a single belt to make that happen, right? But each of them is going to be load balanced, so we can just join it right on. That doesn't need to be balanced back here, it's the only one. Oh. Just make some right here. We'll resupply when we get back home. I can do it all right here on the margin. Unfortunately, we're a little too close on this side. I don't want to mess up the belts. So we'll have to shift everything over, but we'll do that in a moment. Do I have this? I don't. Okay. How far does my... It doesn't go over here. Cover here. We need to make another roboport. And then start moving, getting that in range so we can shift it. Let's go grab some stuff. Why did I do that? That was to load both sides evenly, I guess. But side loading doesn't work very well anymore. Why didn't I use joiners for this? I don't know. Huh. Okay, well, never mind. We have it set up. If we need to duplicate it again, we can always switch it up. It shouldn't be under high capacity anyway. But yeah, I swear, sometimes I come back and I look at the designs I made 10, 20, 50 hours ago, and it just boggles my mind. Why did I do such a crazy thing? And now I'm over here. I'm looking for things that are over here. Oh hey, they finished laying out all the sort panels. So now we've doubled up the total sort panels. We're up to almost 2,000. We wanted to make a roboport, which needs a lot more steel than I have. We'll use it too, because they're awesome. So we'll need a lot more red, I think. Wow, just none of these greens are getting by. How long is that gonna take to replenish? Let's slow it down a little bit. Give it a chance for things to get by. Why is this going slowly? Is it... It's a problem here. It's a copper problem. Because the mineral sludge is very low. Is there anything going wrong here? Crystal slurry is low. But all of this is going fine. All of these are flowing freely. I guess we're just consuming a lot of copper. That's why we're doing this stereotype. Oh well, never mind. I have all this stuff I could just throw away. There we go. Let's see if we have any any more bots ready to go. This is all stopped because it doesn't have any more steel. $16 more. We have all this mineral sludge backed up because it took so long to get the solar array going. That everyone, and they're all connected. Every single one of them is connected to us. They can all use each other to store stuff. So, yeah, we got tons of sludge ready to go once we get some consumption set up. I'm gonna need some chests, but we used up all our stuff. Okay, we can tear it down by hand. The bots are so slow anyway that it doesn't feel justified. But that's kind of the point. We are definitely trying to improve our science. We can do things like this. We'll just leave a little bit of a gap for convenience. We'll start here. Like there. Okay, they're going. They don't have splitters. Okay, while that's going, while it's going, let's go ahead and keep on laying things out. We'll do all the piping down on the south side. Well, yeah, we have to, because that's in the way. Can this cover the entire way? Not quite. Alright. We're gonna need more space over here. Let's make another line or two. Why is that special? Ah, because now we're on this type of ground for some reason. No idea why. Oh, I can press R and it changes it. Oh! I had no idea. So there's this, that, and just whenever I pick things up, I have a different orientation already set up. I never knew. Let's kill these worms right here on both sides. That makes it so easy. One more rep. Or column. Those are kind of scary. Giant worms. They're bigger than anything in the base game. Can I hit you from out of your range? No. Yep. Nice. They dropped 6 million artifacts. Someday I'm gonna have to play a Angel Bob like base game. Oh, and then we ran out of ground. Never mind. Alright, so the outside of this, we worked it all out before. It's going to be a double chain, because we have both iron and copper. But it's going to start with processing. I wonder if I should even bother to do it like this. I know I was saying I was going to try to keep it independent. But I could definitely see like having 2 of these, and then have this be copper and this be iron. I think I like that idea. It keeps it nicely symmetric, and it doesn't complicate things too much. So let's double that up. We didn't quite finish this up. Let's go ahead and do that. I think that's good for now. We'll leave a little room just so we can, just for aesthetic purposes. They're complaining they don't have enough crystallizers and crushers. That's a fair point. I don't think I have them in my inventory either. We can make a ton of crystallizers, but the crushers, we need more steel for. We'll need to make more air filters and all that too. I forgot about those. Or no, we're gonna need to make a setup that makes charcoal. Forgot about that. Yeah. We'll deal with that in a moment. We've already got an arboretum for the oil. Maybe we'll just borrow some from there, rather than playing around with more algae. We're not able to make enough because we don't have enough stone. Okay. That's what I wanted to see. Oh, and apparently they do have enough minutes. So let's grab some more landfill. We're also going to need more splitters. Where are they? Stop it. Stupid computer. I don't know why it does this. It keeps on wanting to grab the focus away when I'm playing a game. I need to have like a junk filter. I always end up with too many of these stupid ball bearings. Alright. Alright, probably I have old blueprints I don't need anymore. Like that. And we can always recreate them just by walking over. Still having copper problems. I don't know why. I guess it's because we're throwing out these circuits really quickly in order to slowly fill up the solar panels again. But wow, yeah, it's taken up quite some time. Now we're gonna need some of those. Those are actually chem plant 2s. We only need chem plant 1s. So how does that change the numbers? We said we're gonna have 2 of these feeding in. So we'll actually have 2 processed copper per second. What relies on that? That does. So we're gonna have enough O2, because that's more than double that. But we're gonna have to deal with 6 copper ingots per second. So we're gonna need, let's see, if we had an induction furnace 2, it's not double the speed, it's only 1.5. So probably it's better just to have 2 induction furnace 1s. And that will consume 6 ingots per second, which is all we're producing. We're gonna be producing 60 molten copper, so we'll need 4 casting 2s. So 4 casting 2s off of 2 induction 1s off of One blast furnace 1. Is the plan. Do I even have those things? I have blasting furnace 1 can be made. The induction furnaces. We have 2. We need more than 2 though. We're low on steel. Always not enough steel. That's fine. As long as we can know where we're gonna use them for, we can come back and fill it in. A little irritating here, my placement of these poles doesn't let me connect it very easily. And these have to connect. Unfortunately, that's not going to work anymore. Let's do the loop between the two. So this will put them all on this one side. Then we'll hop over this. Put them all here, and then this will fill up the other side. Let's move that up a little bit so it looks a little prettier. Yeah, I like it. And this has to exit, so it'll go like that. And we'll figure out a place to how we're gonna get the stone to work. Okay, that's all the input done. Now the output, we said we were gonna have one ore processor for each side, for each metal. Yeah, I'm not even sure what I'm gonna do with the iron because we need to split it into both steel and iron. I'm starting to have regrets about this. I was thinking we're gonna have to set it up so that our iron and copper don't confuse each other. Like, instead of doing this, we could be making 2 different types of ores, like we did back home. Like, that setup actually worked really nicely. And it didn't have the slag. Oh, never mind. This is fine. Let's look at that ratio again then. We know we're going to need 34 copper plates to 16 iron and 1 steel. And 1 steel is the equivalent of how many iron? Let me see. Well, we just worked it out for copper. So copper one copper plate is 10 molten, which is 10 ingots. Which is 5 processed. Which is 10 copper ore. Is that right? That can't be right. I did that wrong. Because 10 copper ore is not 1 copper plate. Let's see. 1 copper plate is 10 molten. Absolutely. 10 molten is 1 ingot. 1 ingot is 0.5 processed. right? No. It's a third of a processed. Stupid Word trying to be helpful, or Google trying to be helpful. 1230. Okay. You just failed so hard right now. Format as a number. I swear, sometimes this thing, it tries to be helpful. It does not. So a third of a processed is... it's twice as much copper ore. So that's 2/3 of a processed. Of a copper ore. So, and a copper ore is... Where's... it's up here. So a copper ore is 2 crushed stereotype. Well, this is where it's tricky to do, because now it's both of them at once. But a copper ore is basically 2 crushed stereotype. Which is the same amount of actual stereotype. And each stereotype is, we worked out, what, 9.3 something? 9.375 mineral sludge. Okay, so each plate we're getting is 12 sludge. We worked out a long time ago how much sludge is steel. Steel is 75 sludge. So a steel is the same as 6 iron, pretty much, kinda. So the actual ratio for here would be 22 to 34, which is not what we're doing right now. We're doing 1 and 2. 22 to 34 is 0.64, pretty much 2/3. We're doing actually 0.5. Oh well, we'll have to add some extra steel production. In fact, that might be the better way to think of it, where we're actually going to we're going to have this will only be the iron and copper, and we'll have a separate one that's going to make the steel for us. That will decouple our iron and steel. I like that. Anyway, so let's figure out how we're going to do this. We actually have to combine it all at the end. So, where are my processors? Is there enough room between these? No, there isn't. Well, there kinda is, if you do it some way. Nah, let's do it more cleanly. But we'll flip them. We'll put the copper on the inside and the iron on the out. And then we'll do a swap. There. That's our iron. I don't like it. I don't like it. This is ugly looking. How are we gonna do this? We'll work it out next time. Anyway, sorry for the mathy episode. I'm just trying to get some design going on. So thank you everyone for watching. My name is Michael Young. This is Factorio.